Hello and welcome to Eddie's Wall. The reason I started this web series was for you to learn more about your favorite pros and about other snowboarders. We see these guys all year round and they're in the magazines and they're in video parts, but a lot of times they're just small specks flying across the screen and you don't actually get to learn a whole lot about them or their personalities. So far on the series, we've been talking a lot about snowboarding, like what's your favorite video part, what do you do to get ready for the season, and this week I kind of wanted to switch it up and just ask kind of a random question, and that is, what is the last cool thing that you bought?
I walked into this little shop in Austria and bought a Wolperdinger. It's a taxidermy and it's mostly fox / raccoon, the tusks of a boar, the wings of a pheasant, the tail of a raccoon, and the heart of an angel.
Well, I live kind of like a dirtbag in a shack, so I try not to spend much money, yet I spend a lot of money on heli skiing, so that's like my #1 expense and my biggest purchase for the last 3 years in a row. You know what? The snowboarding's free. It's the ride up that costs money.
The last really cool thing I bought on a whim on the internet was that little lily throw the camera in the air and it follows you. Bought that for our full moon crew. I saw this video and UC Oksanen was in it and we just throw this camera in the air. It seemed really cool, so I just kind of like impulse bought.
Last cool thing that I bought or built would be the skate bowl. Yeah, for sure, no questions. The house is sweet, we live in it, it's great, but the bowl is this thing that I never thought would ever get built. Of course you're gonna live in a house, but to have a bowl, it's like this little novelty that's epic.
The last cool thing I bought was a 2015 Toyota Tacoma. It's fucking sweet.
So those were some pretty solid answers, from Leanne having a helicopter that flies around and films her, to Tim Eddy buying concrete to build a bowl in his backyard. For me, it's not quite as exciting, but the last cool thing I bought that I think is cool is a bonsai tree. So luckily we're in my backyard and we can take a look at it. So bonsai is a Japanese tradition that goes back over 1,000 years, and it's the art of taking a tiny seed and planting it in a pot. The seed is to a large tree, but because the roots are contained in the pot, the tree can't grow to its full size, so you have a large tree growing in a miniature sort of way. This was actually planted in 1980, so this tree was planted 35 years ago, which is pretty insane to think. So if this was actually just planted in the ground, this tree would be massive. It's just a really cool art form. I've always been obsessed with bonsai trees, so that is the last cool thing I bought.
The baby trees.
But I would rather know the last cool thing that you bought, and you can leave it in a comment on the TW Snow Facebook page or on my personal Instagram @EddieWall using the hashtag #EddiesWall. We'll be back next week with some more snowboard related content, and thank you guys so much for watching.
Last cool thing I bought. These beers are pretty cool. These beers have these caps that come all the way off, so you drink it like a soup can. It's great until you're too close to the fire. Maybe some bugs or ashes make their way in there. But yeah, that's the last cool thing I bought, I guess. But you bought the beer. Thank you, Eddie.